Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Storytell Cakes. In this episode, I have a super special guest, which is Rosie from Rosie's Dessert Spot. So we're going to be doing a collaboration video where I'll be showing you how to make the gum paste rose. And if you head over to Rosie's channel, she's going to show you how to make this awesome stained glass effect. So let's get started. Oh my god, that was like a big So to make the rose bud, I've just got a little foam ball here. And I'm going to use a 24 gauge wire to put through. And then you just want to twist the wires to secure the foam in place. Now this method is a great method for making flowers because you can ensure that the wire is not going to poke outside the foam. You will need 3 different colours of pink. I've got dark to light gum paste. To start off, we're going to roll some gum paste out till it's super thin, and we're going to cut out 6 petals, wrap the first one around, followed by the second 2 petals, and then the third 3 petals. So now we're just going to ball out the edges so the petal's nice and thin. You don't have to worry too much about the bottom parts because you can't see that anyway. For the first petal, apply glue on both sides and wrap it around the bud. Now here's an important note, when you're applying glue for the remaining petals, only apply it on one side because you want the rose to open up. Start off by wrapping the 2 petals together around the first petal. And you can see how it looks quite nice when the sides of the petals are like sticking out. And as you complete the rose, you just want to tuck the petals underneath each other so you get that nice spiral happening.
Now the next step is to allow these to dry for, how long do you normally let them dry?
I would say only 15 minutes or so. Next up, you're just going to need to roll out 5 petals of the second darkest pink colour.
And so I just like to do half on the petal, half off. And I also find when you add a little bit of vegetable shortening like Crisco into your gum paste, it doesn't rip as much around the edges. It's a lot more stable.
Yeah, that's really true. Here's a really cool tip. Use your thumbs to cup the petal and fingers to pull the ends outwards to create rhythm, and then just dry on an apple crate. Let this set for a bit, maybe like 5 minutes or so. While that's setting, we're going to go and do the lightest one. So now Rosie and I are going to roll out the remaining 7 of the lightest petal colour, and we're going to ball it out together. If you've got a friend, I really recommend doing this together. It's going to be a lot of fun and you can make so many roses together. And remember not to squeeze the rose because you want to keep that nice shape. Have the rose facing downwards because it makes it a lot easier when you're applying on the petals without it falling apart. Now, ideally you'd like to leave this to set for a bit before you go to the next layer, but I'm pretty used to handling roses, so I think we can just jump to the next layer. This one is actually fast for me because normally for weddings I do a bit more and I wire all the final ones.
Wow.
Just because I find that if I do that, I can move the rose and it'll have more rhythm to it. And as I put the rose, I kind of like to put it underneath the next one. And I don't put like water on both sides because the other side can kind of flap out a bit as well. Maybe the last one though, the last one I'll put water just to seal it. Don't put water like here, but you can put water on the edges just to kind of get it sealed. At this stage, you don't really want to flip the flower over in case the petals just flop out. You want to leave it this way to dry and pop it through your drying rack. To make the leaves, you can use like a groove board, but if you don't have a groove board, I can show you a method without a groove board. So you want to build the middle part up. You want to continue pushing the fondant through to the center so you get a nice little mountain happening in the center to put the wire through. And make sure you only insert it 3/4 way up. A really important step is to press the gum paste to the wire so when it dries, it will stick together nicely. And now you can ball out the ends of the leaves, but try not to touch the center too much. So you can use like a veinner like this to help make the leaf look more realistic. Pop it through. Watch this. Right now it looks like no leaf. Yes, leaf. So that looks really cool, I love it. And I kind of like make it look, give it a bit of a pinch so it looks a bit more like a leaf. now Rosie's going to show you how to dust the flower.
The rose here, it's nice and dry now and the petals are pretty firm. There is some dusting powder I have here, just popping it onto a brush and going to tip off the excess. And then the darker colors will be in the center. So what we'll do is we'll just dust lightly just around the inside of the petals and give them a more realistic rosy appearance. And as you get further away from the heart of the rose center, it'll get lighter and lighter. So if you want, you could even keep going over the same space until it darkens to a shade that you like. About 2/3 of the way out, the very outer petals I'll do in white. You could use another brush for this if you don't want to contaminate your jar. So now that we have a decent contrast between the dark and the light, I'm going to blow off the excess. If you don't feel comfortable blowing, you could always use a airbrush and just, without any color, just airbrush all around. And I'm just gonna let it rest in here for now.
So we're going to make the calyx now to go on the bottom of the rose. I'm using a bit of like a mossy green color, and to achieve this color I use a Sugar Flare in Peppermint mixed with a little bit of Holy Green, because I find that it gives like a more natural leaf color. You can use like different colors too, but I just really like Sugar Flare colors. So similar to the leaves we made, we're just going to thinnen out their edges and then add some glue and place it over the rose. Add a bit of green to the calyx and also the petals so it's more realistic, and a little bit of brown to the edges. To dust your leaves, you will need some apple green and also some brown petal dust. Add some green on the center of both sides of the leaves and browns on the edges. Use some floral tape and make sure you give it a bit of a stretch so it becomes tacky. Wrap it around the first leaf, and then as you partially wrap the first leaf, add on the second one. So continue to do that all the way around and add the third one. Make sure you evenly disperse the floral tape so it's nice and even. Now you can tape together the rose with the leaves. I recommend making sure the rose has completely dried before you do this. Next up, we're going to steam the rose to add that pop of color to it. You'll notice when you steam your rose, you get this gorgeous shine to it. To make it food safe, make sure you add a posy pick, and then you can insert the flower into the posy pick. So now for the cherry on top, we're going to add Rosie's cake topper. So be sure to head over to her website. I'll put the link in the description box below. She makes amazing cake toppers. I'm going to add this on top. Gorgeous. As always, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this collaboration with Rosie. We had so much fun caking it together. And be sure to also head over to her channel to see the second part of this tutorial. Also, Rosie makes amazing cake toppers and more recently cake scrapers. I'll put a link in the description box below. You definitely have to check it out. She's got like a huge variety. I always go to her for all my cake toppers. Amazing.
Thank you. And that's that one. Thank you so much, Hannah from Storytale Cakes, for having me as a guest today.
Thank you for coming. Oh my gosh, this is like insane. Like, I remember like we were just speaking a couple months ago, and I was like just like fangirling over Rosie's videos, and like, what? She's actually here now? Oh my god.
Oh. Yeah, it's been great fun. So thank you guys for tuning in as well. And I'll catch you, if you like, over on my channel for the little stained glass effect on the cake.